The text messaging part of Grower's Edge is very handy because every day I'll receive a text that shows me where the best local market is.
That's what I like about Grower's Edge too. It gives me the information I want on my smartphone so that if I'm not in the office, I still get the information that I need.
Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. My name is Cody Bills. This is Logan Burgess. Today is the 16th and we had the market snapping back here. Corn for old crop up 4 1/4 cents. New crop up 5 cents. Soybeans for old crop up 17 1/4 cents. New crop trading up 15 3/4. And wheat in Chicago mostly unchanged here, with September only up 1/4 penny, and wheat for that December contract up 1 cent. Now we did see some export sales here this morning. Positive for old crop soybeans. We did get 120,000 metric tons sold to China. We also saw for new crop soybeans about 240,000 metric tons of soybeans sold to unknown destinations, and we saw about a 210,000 metric ton sale here for corn to unknown destinations for that new crop. So we did get a lot of export activity here early on. Is that the main reason why we're trading higher here?
You know, Cody, it seemed like a combination of factors in today's action. You know, yesterday on GrainTV we talked about kind of the technical landscape of the November soybean contract in particular. As you can see here, really have sold off substantially since June 30th. Technically, it was very oversold. So today we come into the trade, we see some good export sales on the old and the new crop. Additionally, right now we have strikes down in Argentina. Now typically that's not a big factor for the market because these strikes are fairly common. But when it comes at a time when the market's ripe for a snapback, it's not going to hurt the positive action that we saw in today's action, and it seemed to be contributing to some strength at a soy meal. We saw Chinese soy meal futures trade about 1% higher in the overnight session. U.S. futures were trading about 1.5%. So Argentina is a major exporter of soy meal, helping out soy meal prices. And I guess, you know, to get back to your first question there, it seemed like a combination of fundamental factors coming on the heels of some technical action here really over the last 2 days that indicated this market may be ready for a little bit of a retracement.
Absolutely. And you know, when we look at these technical levels, I think one of the things we really want to keep in mind is that we're not entirely sure how much this can bounce. You know, we may see follow through. When you look at the price action here earlier today, you'll notice that we got up over $11, almost as high as $11.08, and we were sold into. The market was sold very heavily, driving us down below $11. Well, we kind of traded around there, putting in a good base, closing up again closer to the highs. I thought it was very positive movement toward the close. I wouldn't be surprised if we continue the movement higher here, but I think for producers out here, really the message is be ready to price some grain here. You know, these bounces are a gift, and when you look at the overall fundamentals, really it overly bearish, I would say. So these sort of bounces should be used as pricing opportunities. Now, Logan, we also had some some ethanol production numbers here. You know, what did we see, and is that going to help move the market higher here in the future?
You know, it could. We saw a relatively strong week here for corn, for ethanol production here once again. The red bars are weekly production figures. The black line is what we saw last year. So not surprisingly, still very strong relative to last year. Right now, though, we are seeing ethanol production pick up. One factor that seems to be helping things out is a corn market, which is sold off substantially. We now have the old crop trading below $4 a bushel, and many times in the cash market, and that's in spite of DDG prices, which have fallen substantially. So a few months ago, that was one concern for ethanol production. We had a collapsing DDG market. Now it looks like the corn side of the equation is starting to balance things out a little bit. Obviously, we've seen a substantial sell-off for corn, 15 to 18% since the beginning of June. So I think that we're seeing that right now reflected in these ethanol production figures. I don't know if the corn market's going to be looking very closely right now, especially looking at the new crop in terms of what kind of weekly production we're seeing. I think this remains a basis story for producers that are still holding on to old crop. We still see a premium at many ethanol facilities for old crop bushels. So for people that are looking to price some old crop on this bounce, that's a great opportunity. And we have a good pricing tool here at Grain Hedge. It's called the Optimizer. You can view a 200-mile radius around your farm and really see what facilities are bidding that premium basis in your local market.
Absolutely. Well, tomorrow we do have export sales. Traders will be watching that very closely. Yep. When you look at expectations here, it looks like wheat expectations between 400 and 550,000 metric tons, corn between 250 and 350,000 metric tons, and soybeans here between cancellations of 50,000 metric tons and positive sales of 75. Just to give you an idea of where we are in terms of soybean sales, if we weren't to make one more sale here for the remainder of the season, we'd still be about 35 million bushels ahead of what the USDA is anticipating. Right. Of course, whether or not we can move that all out of the country, right, that's the big question, especially considering inspections have been relatively slow in the last few weeks. We'll be paying very close attention to that early on. That'll be in the morning commentary. If you want to have or ask us any questions about what we talked about today, give us a call at 877-472-4607. Remember, you can take a demo of the mobile trading platform or the desktop trading platform at grainhedge.com. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you here tomorrow for Thursday's report.